The new DVD is about learning 5 classic Steve Vai tracks, 4 of them which actually I'm doing, and then Jamie Humphries is doing the other one, Die to Live he's doing. And basically it's just kind of taking you through different elements of Steve Vai's playing, with the kind of more shreddy side, heavier side, more melodic side, more chordal based side, with Boy from Seattle, which I have to say was probably the most difficult track on this. I.e. because for me, my playing is kind of, I'm more of a kind of metal stroke rock player, and I play a lot of lead and a lot of kind of heavy chords and stuff. So when it came to doing the more kind of Hendrixy sort of chords, it was difficult trying to kind of do that track. Hence that's why the track is taught more as an overview rather than the kind of note for note detail, because there's so much going on in that song, it probably would have taken forever to film. I think there's a whole range of techniques that you're going to get from this DVD. You're going to be, more tapping stuff, sweep picking, a lot of phrasing ideas. Steve Vai's got a very quirky sense of melody, so you're going to be kind of playing, normally if you learn a normal pentatonic scale, it kind of sounds pretty much the same when anybody plays it. It's literally left down to the player and how they interpret it. And, Steve Vai takes very sort of simple approaches to guitar and puts his kind of stamp on it, and his phrasing and everything is just, kind of brings it to life. So there's definitely a lot of Vai-isms in this that you're going to kind of learn about. Also with this kind of stuff, it's worth looking at his ability to kind of write a song. His kind of song structures for these songs are different. Each one of them has got a different approach. They don't all sound the same. They're off different albums. So there's definitely a lot of stuff to get out of this DVD. There's definitely a lot of stuff in here that will kind of really challenge intermediate players to kind of get better, and also to learn some of their favourite Steve Vai licks if they're fans of Steve Vai. For advanced players as well, if you kind of think you're advanced after doing this DVD, you might not feel like it. There's elements where I really had to work on my playing a lot to kind of, concentrate on getting the nuances right and all the kind of different playing styles. Because I would say Steve Vai's playing, phrasing-wise, is so far away from how I play. So I've really had to kind of sit down, and it's probably the most challenging DVD that I've ever done, I would say, definitely. My advice on learning this DVD would be to, go through all the sections. It's broken down into really small parts, so you can sit there, and anything that you've got any difficulty with, just kind of sit down and learn it, really slow, and kind of figure out what is actually going on. And then, bit by bit, each song that you kind of learn, just kind of put all the bits together and basically make it your goal to try and, I'd say try and do 60 or 70% of his kind of, or trying to get his playing style on most of the licks in the songs. I kind of would expect people to get certain licks or certain phrasing ideas from this DVD. Again, I'm very big on encouraging people to kind of come up with their own style and, basically take bits of their favourite players and kind of utilise that in their own playing, rather than, kind of getting into a guitar player and only being into them and then literally learning everything they do note for note. And because really you're not going to develop any kind of identity on the guitar doing that kind of thing. But the great thing about this DVD is, if Steve Vai is one of your favourite players, you get to kind of see in broken down sections how they go about putting this stuff together. And because some people might listen to this stuff and think, God, how are they doing that? What's actually going on? And if you can't really kind of interpret from what you hear to guitar playing, then it's very difficult to kind of figure out on your own what's happening. There's plenty of people that can listen to stuff by ear and sort of do it, but for other people that might find it a bit more difficult, these DVDs are really good for that, where they can sit down and take it chunk by chunk and just sort of sit there and go, oh right, that's what they're doing. And to be honest, 9 times out of 10, the execution of this stuff is hard, but when you actually see somebody play it, you think, oh, is that all they're doing? You know, because when you listen to something, it's your imagination kind of runs away with you a little bit. And then when you see somebody actually playing this stuff, you think, oh right, that's it. But then again, you know, you kind of look and think, well, that looks easy. And then when you actually come down to doing it, it becomes quite difficult. So yeah, just learn everything slow and just stick with it.